Dear students, good morning to all of you. I am Rajan, Assistant Professor Economics from AMC Group of Education Institutions and CDF Department. So this is a small presentation for the first PG students who are going to appear for the second sem examination. The topic is opportunities of Indian companies in international markets. We know the practice of marketing has been known for millennia. Marketing involves all the actions a company undertakes to draw in customers and maintain relationship with them. And there are two types of markets: domestic market and international market. Domestic marketing is the marketing strategy or strategies that are employed to attract and influence customers within the political boundaries of the country. Whereas when there are no boundaries for a country and it targets customers overseas or in another country, it is said to be engaged in international marketing. Let us see the dissimilarities between domestic and international marketing. In the case of domestic marketing, there is limited scope and opportunities for the companies, and the benefits derived by the companies is less, comparatively less. Benefit here means it may be profit or revenue, like that. And thirdly, there is limited use of technology compared to the international marketing technology. The technology used in domestic marketing is very limited, and it has nothing to do with the political relations between countries. Since the marketing practice of marketing is done within the country, there is no question of political relation between countries, and there is no barriers. For example, in the form of tariff, quota, embargo, like that, there is no trade barriers, comparatively very less barriers. Whereas in the case of international marketing, there are endless opportunities and scope. The participants of the trade, that is the companies, they will get more benefits compared to the domestic business, and there will be the application of latest technology. There will be improvement in political relations between the countries. There will be more cooperation, you can say, like that, and the countries' social as well as political relations will be improved by engaging in the international marketing. Barriers such as cross language, currency, tradition, etc. There are barriers. This means that there will be barriers in the form of language, currency, tradition, and customs in international marketing, but there are no such barriers. So this dissimilarities between domestic and international market, please note it down, and sometimes it may come in the short question, not very short question, but short question for 4 marks. Now we can go to the topic, features of international marketing. So briefly I will explain the features of the international marketing. The first one is availability of broader market compared to the domestic market. The market for the international marketing is broader. Secondly, uncontrollable variables. In domestic marketing, most of the variables are controllable, whereas in international marketing, the companies can't control the variables. For example, it can't control the economic variable, for example price or the income level of the people in another country. So many variables are beyond the control of the companies. Then better competence is required. Competence here means the company should be able to produce at a very less cost and also the quality of the product should be more. Then only it can compete in the international market. So, but compared to domestic market, better competency is required in the international marketing. Intense competition. We know that the number of producers coming into the international market will be more when we compare with the domestic market. So there will be more competition. Risk and challenges is comparatively very high since the amount of investment is huge. The risk is also very high. If there is any loss, the company can't withstand that loss. It will be comparatively that much higher than generally conducted on a large scale. In domestic marketing, the product's quantity will be less, whereas here it will be large scale. Developed countries and multinational corporations, they dominate the market. We know that in the international market, most of the companies, they belong to developed countries. America and other European countries, they dominate the market. So multinational companies also, not the other companies. Multinational companies, companies which is producing in more than two two countries, two or more countries. You can say like that, two countries or more. So they dominate the market, not as small companies. Small companies can't influence the international market. Then there will be presence of international restrictions. Then the ninth one is operations are very complex and complicated. It is very difficult to there are difficulties in understanding the relations or what is happening in the international market. The relations between the market forces will be that much complex. Complex here means it is very difficult to understand. So it is in that case it is difficult to evolve a strategy for marketing. So these are the 9 features of international marketing: availability of broader market, controllable variables, better competence, intense competition, risk and challenge is comparatively high, generally conducted on large scale, developed countries and MNCs dominate the market, presence of international restrictions, operations are very complex and complicated. Now let us see the functions of international marketing. What are the important functions? There are 8 points in this topic. There are 8 functions in international marketing, you can say. The first one is deciding the route for marketing. So here the deciding the route here means entry strategy. There are different entry strategy in international business. So that we will be discussing deeply in the next lesson. And second one is selection of markets and products. So evaluation of various markets to identify the distinctive feature of the markets. The products require some degree of adaptation in different markets. That is packaging, aesthetics, size, labeling and instruction. Third one is choosing of channels of distribution. We know that there are different channels of distribution. So here we can say the example import house as a sole distributor, for selecting a new few importers, for export house, for tie-up with MNCs, etc. Designing a pricing policy. So there are different pricing policies: cost plus pricing, market oriented pricing, low price, low margin strategy, like that. So that has to be, that is done. It is the function of the international marketing system to design the pricing policy of the business. Then developing proper marketing communication structure. So here the use of symbols and images to attract foreign markets, selection of local media, national media and international media, all this will come. So this is the function of international marketing, that is developing proper marketing communication structure. Then the next function is surmounting the procedural roadblocks. Surmounting here means overcoming. So there may be some blocks in the procedure. So it is the duty of the it is the function of the international marketing to overcome that procedural roadblocks. For example, you can say licenses, customs, foreign exchange, mode of payments, etc. Designing organizational adjustments. So here it is the function of the international marketing to design suitable organizational adjustments in the field of finance, currency, banking, taxation, etc. Uh, which equip which will equip the organization in meeting the challenges. Then last one is getting insight into the sensitive area of ethics. So there are business ethics, no? So national character, cultural and behavior of the country, all this reflects in the business behavior also. So international firms have to understand the sensitivity of the cultural environment prevailing in each country. So these 8 functions of international marketing is very important. Please note it down and try to explain in your own sentences. First one is deciding the route for marketing, that is country strategy, that you can explain after learning the coming lesson. Now just point out this function. Then second, selection of marketing and products. Third one, closing of channel of distribution. Fourth one, designing a pricing policy. Fifth one, developing proper marketing communication structure. Sixth one, surmounting the procedural roadblocks, that is overcoming the procedural roadblocks. Seventh one, designing organizational adjustments, and last one, insight into the sensitive area of ethics. Now we can go to the problems. Problems in international marketing. What are the problems? So general questions. You know there will be many problems arising in international business. Let us see what are the problems one by one briefly. So first one is tariff barriers. You know tariff, it is a tax imposed on imported goods. Then administrative policies. So bureaucratic rules uh, uh, we can see both in guest and host countries that make international marketing harder. Then diversities. So countries have their own culture, no? So they have global customs are different. You know that. So their needs, preferences, habits, language, everything will be changing. So this will create problem. Then political instability, the changing government, that will be a problem. So different party system, different political systems, political instability. Actually, they are genuine threats in international market. It is a threat for in market is face. They face these problems. Then place constraints. So perishable goods they demand great care actually. Delicate, there is some goods are very delicate. So logistics management needs careful attention also. So all this will come in the place constraints. Flexible exchange rate. So we know that especially in our country the exchange rate is fluctuating. It is not fixed. We are following flexible exchange rate. That is the market forces of demand for currencies decides the exchange rate in our country. So every day the exchange rate vary with, and this creates a settlement problems. And then norms and ethics. Norms and ethics differ. Moral principles and norms of conducting business across nation differ. So corruption also is a problem. terrorism and racism. This is another important problem. Then global warming. So changes in ecological environment. So differences in weather and climate also act as hindrance. Poor performance of trade agencies. That is another problem. Inadequate performance of the trade agencies can create problems in international marketing. Calamities. Both natural and man-made calamities affect the international marketing. Differences in currencies, weights, measure, standard of marketing methods, all this will be affecting international marketing. It will create problems in international marketing. Then protectionist approach of the countries. Some countries, they will protect their domestic countries from foreign competition. For that purpose, they will not allow the goods to enter into their country. So these are creating a lot of problems in international marketing. The goods and services can't flow smoothly from one country to another country. Then the last one is economic crisis and recession. So economic crisis and recession across the world. So this is affecting almost all the businesses. So if there is a crisis in one country, it can be easily spread to another country in international marketing. Whereas in the case of domestic marketing, it is not a problem. If there is problem in one country, it will not affect the marketing of another country. So please keep it in mind, these 12, not 12, 14 points. So these 14 points you can explain briefly in problems of international marketing. Now we enter to the last topic, that is opportunities of Indian companies in international markets. We know India was a far greater industrial and manufacturing nation than any in Europe or any other in Asia. Even in the Mughal period, India's share of the world economy was 27%. At the beginning of the 18th century, India's share of the world economy was 23%. However, by that time, the British uh, departed India, it had dropped to just 3%. So independent India had been trying to regain the lost glory, and our Indian companies have been trying to utilize opportunities thrown open by globalized world. So let us see what are the opportunities our companies, these Indian companies, is having in international market. The first one is growth in international trade. We know that the international trade is growing, especially since 1991. That is after the introduction of this NEC, New Economic Policy, NEP, New Economic Policy. There is a liberalization. The industries and the trading, everything is liberalized. Restrictions are gone. So there is growth in international trade that affected the that affected the trade positively, and there is more scope for trading, and encourages investment in different countries. So Indian companies in international markets, they encourages investment in different countries. This is another opportunity, and the third one is increasing the scale of operation. So international market operations, it increases the scale of production and the national income, that is GDP of the country also. Then fourth opportunity is it reduces unemployment. So international operations increase the rate of development in the country. So whenever there is a development, automatically there will be more chance for job, and as a result unemployment will be decreasing. It helps in specialization. So in the last units I have presented how the international trade leads to specialization. According to the resource advantages, the countries will be specializing now. So when there is trading, the country can produce those products in which it has special advantage. So specialization will be improving. Then new revenue potential. So entry in international market help to access much larger base of customers, and this enabled company to take revenue, more revenue. Greater access to talent. So it provides access to new uh, pool of potential employees with the unique skill and mindset. Next one is learning a new culture. So getting information about a new place can make Indian companies well rounded. So understanding of outside people will give the company a new perspective on relations with the customers. So a new culture will be formed. Learning of a culture will be there in the case of international marketing. So this is an opportunity for our company. Then exposure to foreign investment opportunities. There will be exposure to foreign investment opportunities. So when an Indian company goes abroad, it can more easily understand the investment opportunities available there. Then the next one is improving Indian companies' reputation. So we know that the global like presence makes a company an international company, and thereby it can improve the reputation of the companies. So when our companies, Indian companies, are doing or enter into the international market, its reputation will automatically develop or improve. The diversity of company markets. So international marketing it helps the company to diversify the market presence, so that it can, if anything goes wrong in one market, it can offset from the other markets. So we know that the advantage of diversification. Diversification means producing more types of or wide range of goods or services. So if there is any loss in one market or in one product, it can easily make up by getting surplus or more profit in another market or product. So that scope is very high for Indian companies. And the last one is early entry opportunities. So being first to the market provides a significant and sustained market share advantage over late entrants. So it is very advantageous for the companies who enter the market first. So this 12 points. So these 12 points, they explain the opportunities of Indian companies in international market. Once again, I list the points. Growth in the first one is growth in international trade, and second one, uh, Indian companies in international market encourages investment in different countries. And the third important point we discussed is increase in scale of operation. Fourth one, reduces unemployment. Fifth, helps in specialization. And next one, new revenue potential. Seventh one, greater access to talent. Eighth one, learning a new culture. Ninth one, exposure to foreign investment opportunities. 10th one, improving Indian companies' reputation by entering into the international markets. And 11th one, diversity of company markets. And the last one, early entry opportunities. So in this presentation, I brief the content. First, we discussed the difference between domestic and international marketing, and in the second topic, features of Indian marketing, international marketing, and the third one, functions of international marketing. Fourth one, problems in international marketing, and last fifth one, opportunities of Indian companies in international markets. And there are also threats for the Indian companies in international markets that I will present in the I will explain all those points in the next presentation. I hope you all understood these 5 topics and are familiar with the points. So write it down and try to explain in your own sentence. If you have textbook, please read at least 1 or 2 hours in a day. Hope you like the presentation. If you want to make any changes in the presentation, if you want to include more points or more explanation, please let me know. And if you understood this presentation, do like this presentation. Thank you. Goodbye.